Well, good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and we welcome you to the 85th National Baseball Congress World Series, powered by Westar Energy. This is Frank Martinez. I'll be your play-by-play announcer for tonight's game. Tonight's game will feature the visiting team, the Wichita Sluggers, versus the home team, the Great Bend, Kansas Batcats. Here's the starting lineups for today's game. First of all, for the Sluggers, leading off and playing left field will be number 12, Mason Hartman. Batting second, the right fielder, number 53, Tanner White. Batting third and playing shortstop will be number 28, Colton Bertas. Batting fourth and playing center field will be number 50, Ryan Koval. Batting fifth and playing third base, number 6, Adam Tice. Batting sixth and catching will be number 51, Tony Slaughter. Batting seventh and playing first base, number 26, Zach Baxley. Batting eighth and playing second base, number 45, Jack Mackey. And batting ninth and DH, number 0, Josh Jones. And pitching will be number 43, Matt Hunt. Looks like we're ready to get underway. Leading off for the Wichita Sluggers will be the left fielder, number 12, Mason Hartman. And pitching for Great Bend will have number 32, Zach Pratt. First pitch by Pratt is a ball one. Count is 1 ball, no strikes now to Mason Hartman. The winner of this game will move on and play Hutchinson, Kansas Monarchs tomorrow night at 9:30 as the Hutchinson Monarchs defeated the Dodge City, Kansas A's 7-1. That one is fouled off by Hartman. So the count is 1 ball, 1 strike. And here's Pratt's pitch, missing high for ball 2. 2-1 now the count. Defensively for Great Bend, at first base, we'll have number 15, Riley. Second baseman will be number 17, Cheatham. At shortstop, we have number 2, Gonzalez. Third baseman, number 3, Pomeroy. And we'll get to the outfield here in just a second. Here's the pitch. That is fouled off right behind home plate. And the count is 2 balls and 2 strikes. The outfield for the Great Bend Batcats. In left field, we have number 6, Brady Mitchell. Center fielder, number 11, Dante Freeman. And the right fielder, number 14, Ryan Monson. That missing for ball 3. So the count goes full now at 3-2. Catching for Great Bend is number 34, Chase Gibson. And pitching is, once again, number 32, Zach Pratt. And here's Pratt's pitch on a 3-2 count. Missing outside for ball 4. So Mason Hartman reaches on a base on balls as we're just underway. Now batting will be the right fielder, number 53, Tanner White. Tanner White is a left-handed batter. From El Dorado, Kansas, a 6-foot, 200-pounder. Once again, Hartman at first base as he reached on a base on balls. First pitch is a strike to White. And a swing and a miss there by Tanner White. So he goes down, no balls to 2 strikes. That one missing for ball 1. So the count is 1 ball, 2 strikes. We've had 3 games here already today. In the first game, that was played at 1 o'clock. Once again, I said, there goes Hartman to second base on a steal. As the pitcher hangs on to the ball as the ball went back to him. So Hartman is on with a stolen base at second base now. As I was saying, the first game at 1 o'clock, we had the Hudson Monarchs defeat the Dodge City Ace 7-1. Our 3:30 game, it was the Hayes Larks defeating the Denver Cougars 2-0. In a real good ball game. And then in our feature game that just got done here a few minutes ago was the Derby, Kansas Twins defeating the 316 Elite 5-2. So that side of the bracket is full as the Derby Twins will be facing the Hayes Larks at 7 o'clock tomorrow. And then our 9:30 game tomorrow will be Hutchinson versus the winner of this game between the Wichita Sluggers and Great Bend. A swing and a miss there by Tanner White as he goes down swinging for out number one. It's going to bring up the shortstop, number 28, Colton Bertas. And the horn sound as the throw wasn't made, but the umpire says he was in his delivery, so no penalty. For those of you that don't know about the air horn, we have a pitch clock here in the NBC World Series. In between pitches, they have 20 seconds to deliver the ball, or start their motion, I should say. And if you don't start it, then it will be a ball given to the batter. But if the batter is not in the batter's box within 5 seconds of the time running out and the pitcher hangs on to the ball, it will be credited as a strike against the batter. 2 balls, no strikes now to Colton Bertas, the shortstop for the Wichita Sluggers. Count is 2 balls, 2 strikes now to Bertas. And apparently our internet has gone down here at X Stadium. That one is fouled off. And for those of you that know, calling a ball game, you depend on that internet so you can get your stats. So let me try something different here. We have 2 down now. It's going to bring up the center fielder, number 50, Ryan Koval. Moving over to third base was Hartman on the play. There's a swing and a miss there by Colton Bertas. Correction, Ryan Koval. So the count is no balls and 1 strike. And it's 1 ball, 2 strikes. I apologize for not giving you the action here, but we're trying to get reconnected to our internet. Ball hit back to the pitcher. He's going to go to first base for the 3rd out. So the top half of the first inning for the Sluggers, they scored no runs on no hits, no errors, and 1 left on base. And you're listening to the NBC World Series live stream presented by Park City, Kansas. Visit Park City website at parkcitykansas.com.
Hi, I'm Scott Stiles, General Manager of Wichita Burner, right here in beautiful downtown Wichita. I know how important it is to be on a winning team. My winning team of Jim Myers, Ashley Jansen, and Jeff Markowitz are here every day to provide you with the best customer service for your boiler and burner needs. On behalf of our team, we want to wish you and your team the best of luck at this year's 85th annual NBC World Series. And welcome to Wichita.
Okay. All right. Well, it looks like we're back on now. We welcome you back to X Stadium for the 85th National Baseball Congress World Series, powered by Westar Energy. As we go to the bottom half of the first inning, didn't get a chance to go through the Great Bend lineup, but leading off for Great Bend will be shortstop number 2, Cade Gonzalez. Batting second will be the right fielder number 14, Ryan Monson. Batting third will be the center fielder number 11, Dante Freeman. Batting fourth will be the third baseman number 3, Dawson Pomeroy. Batting fifth, the left fielder number 6, Brady Mitchell. Batting sixth and DH will be number 10, Chandler Bloomer. Batting seventh and playing second base will be number 17, Tyson Cheatham. Batting eighth and catching number 34, Chase Gibson. Batting ninth and playing first base will be number 15, Nolan Riley. And pitching will be number 32, Zach Pratt. And pitching for the Wichita Sluggers is number 43, Matt Hunt. This is the second pitch there to Cade Gonzalez. The count goes to 1 ball and 1 strike. As we are in the bottom half of the first inning. Once again, the winner of this game will move on and play tomorrow evening at 9:30 versus the Hutchinson, Kansas Monarchs. The loser will be done in the 85th National Baseball Congress World Series. And here's the pitch. For an out there, as it's called strike 3. It's going to bring up the right fielder, number 14, Ryan Munson. Munson for Great Bend is a left-handed batter. From Frisco, Texas. First pitch is ball 1. He's a 6 foot, 190 pounder out of Washington and Lee College. So 1 ball, no strikes now to Munson as we have 1 down here in the bottom half of the first. That one missing inside for ball 2. So the count is 2 balls and no strikes. That one gets by the first baseman. It's going to be a base hit there by Munson. Actually, it's going to be an error on the first baseman. I wasn't sure if whether the first baseman got a glove on that or not, but looks like he did, so it is going to be an error. So Munson will be on with an error. And to bring up the center fielder, number 11, Dante Freeman. I think I got my computers back up, so I'm ready to pay attention to the ball game now. That pitch missing high to Dante Freeman, the center fielder for the Great Bend Batcats. Freeman made some great catches out in center field last night as he dove for 3 balls, 1 in right center field that he ended up missing, and the ball got by him, was in for extra bases. But then he made 2 outstanding catches out in left center field as he took off running and also dove for both of them and just made catches that were just outstanding. That one missing for ball 2, so the count goes to 2 balls, 1 strike. Monson on an error to the first baseman, and there is 1 out here in the bottom half of the first inning. With no score here so far in the ball game. Matt Hunt's pitch is fouled off by Freeman along the right-hand side, and there's a souvenir for the kids chasing it down on the main concourse level. For those of you that have never been here to X Stadium, the infield and the outfield are all artificial turf. The only grass or dirt area, I should say, is the pitcher's mound Ball hit hard along the third base side. It's going to be foul. So the count stays at 2 balls and 2 strikes. The other evening, we had rain that came during a ball game between the Dodge City A's and the Derby Twins. And, I mean, it just started pouring down rain for a good hour or so. Finally, at 1 o'clock in the morning, they decided that it was going to be too wet and we're not able to play. Once again, that one lined along the third base side, foul. So we ended up coming back here and playing at 9 o'clock in the morning. And the Derby Twins ended up winning that game. I believe the score was like 10-3 or 10-4. At the time, the game was tied up at 3 apiece when it was called for a rain delay. So 2 balls, 2 strikes. There goes the batter, and that's going to be grounded in foul territory. So Monson will have to head back to first base and Freeman back to the batter's box as the count stays at 2 balls and 2 strikes. And here's Matt Hunt's pitch. Ball hit hard now to the third baseman. He's going to go to second base for the force out and over to first for the double play. So a 5-4, 5-4-3 double play. And at the end of 1, we have no score. And you're listening to the NBC World Series live stream presented by Park City, Kansas. Visit Park City's website at parkcitykansas.com. We'll be right back.
What do you see? I see my daughter, a strong and independent woman, a skilled expert, living her life, and an inspiration to others. What do you see?
And we welcome you back as we go to the top half of the second inning here between the Wichita Sluggers and the Great Bend Batcats. Leading off for the Sluggers will be the third baseman, number 6, Adam Tice. Tony Slaughter will be on deck and Zach Baxley in the hole. As Zach Pratt starts his second inning of work. Swing and a miss there by Adam Tice. As the count goes to no balls and 1 strike. Ball popped up to the second baseman. Makes the catch. That was Tyson Cheatham for out number 1. Going to bring up the catcher number 51, Tony Slaughter. Slaughter is from DeSoto, Kansas. He's a 5'10", 180-pounder from Johnson County Community College. First pitch was a ball to him. That one missing high for ball 2. By Zach Pratt as he falls behind 2 balls and no strikes. 1 down here in the top half of the second inning with no score. That one missing outside. That one there looked like Zach Pratt was just trying to really overthrow on that pitch as he missed wide to the right. So it's 3-0 now the count. That one hits the corner for strike 1. So the count is 3 balls, 1 strike now to Tony Slaughter, the catcher for the Wichita Sluggers. And that one missing low for ball 4, so Slaughter will reach on a base on balls. And that will bring up the first baseman, number 26, Zach Baxley. And now Zach Pratt is on the mound tying his shoes. And he's ready to do his work against Zach Baxley. That one fouled off by Baxley as that was a check swing. So the count goes no balls, 1 strike. Slaughter reached on a base on balls as we have a runner at first base and 1 down here in the top half of the second inning. That one hitting the outside corner. Nice job there by catcher Gibson to frame that for home plate umpire. One ball, 2 strikes now to Zach Baxley. Baxley is 3 for 8 as he's batting .375. That's strike 3 for out number 2. Going to bring up the second baseman, number 45, Jack Mackey. Mackey, a left-handed batter for the Wichita Sluggers. Takes a look at ball 1. Let's see. Outside for ball 2. Mackey is from Andover, Kansas. He's 5'11", 180 pounds. Attends Allen Community College. That one was fouled off. The fan just made a great catch down there. As you can hear the fans cheer for him. So the count goes to 2 balls and 1 strike. That is fouled off by Mackey. That would even up the count now at 2-2. So 2 balls, 2 strikes with a runner at first base and 2 down here in the top half of the second. That missing outside as the catcher comes up ready to throw, thinking that Slaughter may be taken off on the, but he heads back to first base. So now we have a full count. Next time Slaughter will be taken off as we have 2 down. And that one almost, it did hit Mackey, so he hustles down to first base. Almost like he thought he struck out and was going to have to get thrown out. But he will now be at first base. Slaughter moves to second base, and that's going to bring up the Disney hitter number 0, Josh Jones. Swing and a miss there by Josh Jones. So the count goes to no balls and 1 strike. Josh Jones is 0 for 3 here in the World Series. And there's another swing and a miss there by Jones. So Pratt goes up on Jones. No balls and 2 strikes. Runners at first and second and 2 down here in the top half of the second inning with no score between the Sluggers and the Batcats. Swing and a miss for strike 3. So the top half of the second inning, there's no runs on no hits, no errors, and 2 left on base. At the end of 1.5, we have no score, and you're listening to the NBC World Series live stream presented by Park City, Kansas. Visit Park City's website at parkcitykansas.com.
from the sea, come to you. I heard the laughing, girls from the sea, come to you. I'm someone like you. Na 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 na, na 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 na. I'm going to Wichita. I'm going to Wichita. I'm going to Wichita. And I'm going to Wichita.
Learn more at visitwichita.com.
And we welcome you back here to X Stadium for the 85th National Congress Baseball World Series, powered by Westar Energy. This is Frank Martinez, your play-by-play announcer, as we head to the bottom half of the second inning. It's about time I gave you the umpires. At home plate is Doug McClure. First base is Josh Nolan. And doing the third base was Mike Lentz. So as we go to the bottom half of the second inning with no score between the Batcats from Great Bend and the Sluggers from Wichita. Leading off for the Batcats will be the third baseman, number 3, Dawson Pomeroy. Pomeroy is batting .500 for the tournament, as he is 4 for 8. And he has a total of 4 RBIs. That missing outside for ball 2. So 2-0 now the count to Dawson Pomeroy, leading off here in the bottom half of the second inning. Missing for ball 3, so just like that, Pomeroy is ahead of the pitcher Hunt with a 3-0 count. And ball 4 to Pomeroy as Pomeroy walks on 4 pitches. So now batting for Great Bend will be the left fielder, number 6, Brady Mitchell. Mitchell, a right-handed batter. Swing, and as they pop up into right field, a right fielder White will be coming in to make the catch right over the second baseman, Mackey, for out number 1. Going to bring up the designated hitter, number 10, Chandler Bloomer. As Bloomer is looking for his first hit here in the World Series, as he's 0 for 7. Bloomer is from Ottawa, Kansas. 6 foot, 190 pounders. That ball hit to the first baseman, goes to second for the force out, and then back to first base for the double play. So the bottom half of the second inning, we have no score, and you're listening to the NBC World Series live stream presented by Park City, Kansas. Visit Park City's website at parkcitykansas.com. We'll be right back.
What do you see? I see a new day. To continue my journey, riding towards my goal. To create the life I've always wanted. I do what it takes. And now I ride to my dream job. What do you see?
We welcome you back to the 85th National Congress Baseball World Series, powered by Westar Energy, as we go to the top half of the third inning between the Wichita Sluggers and the Great Bend Batcats. No score so far here in the ballgame. Leading off for the Wichita Sluggers will be the left fielder, number 12, Mason Hartman. This is Hartman's second time at the plate as he reached on a base on balls in the first inning and was left stranded at third base. That's foul ball by Hartman. So the count goes to no balls and one strike. And Zach Pratt now in his third inning of work. I was noticing that Pratt had a total, that is his 42nd pitch, as he has 23 strikes and 19 balls. That one missing for ball 2. Ball hit past the third baseman, Pomeroy. So Hartman reaches on a base, correction, that is Tanner White that reaches. Hartman reaches on a base hit, and Tanner White now coming up to the plate. One ball, no strikes now to Tanner White as Hartman is on at first base with a base hit. And White tries to lay down a bunt and fouls it off, so the count will go to 1 ball and 1 strike. We are in the top half of the third inning. The Wichita Sluggers up to bat. And Pratt goes to first base. Hartman in safely. And it's 1 ball, 1 strike. Now to Tanner White, left-handed batter for the Wichita Sluggers. Ball hit to the first baseman is going to be in foul territory. As Riley grabs that about 3 feet left of the first base line. So the count is 1 ball, 2 strikes to the right fielder, Tanner White. There's a ball hit into short right center field, and that's going to fall in for a base hit by Tanner White. So 2 base hits back to back by Hartman and White. Now puts runners at first and second with no out here in the top half of the third inning for the Wichita Sluggers. Coming up to bat will be the shortstop, number 28, Colton Bertas. White was 2 for 9 before that time at bat. And Bertas squares around a butt. It's going to be ball 1 is the call. As the third baseman was kind of heading in, both the third baseman and the first baseman about the grass area. That one fouled off by Bertas. So that will even up the count at 1 ball and 1 strike. Just a beautiful evening here in Wichita. That one missing low and outside for ball 2. It's a clear 87 degrees here in Wichita. That one just hit past the third baseman in foul territory. Wind has picked up just a little bit. It's about 11 miles an hour out of the southeast. It is 87 degrees and clear. Count 2 balls, 2 strikes. There goes the runner from second base. That ball hit to the first baseman, Riley, and it deflects off of him, goes back towards the pitcher's mound as the pitcher, Pratt, had gone to first base to cover, so nobody was there. So everybody's going to be safe, and it's going to be an error on the first baseman. So now the bases will be loaded as Hartman is at third base. White moves to second, and Burtis is on with an error to the first baseman. It's going to bring up the center fielder, number 50, Ryan Koval. So the cleanup hitter up for the Wichita Sluggers. No outs. And there's a hard hit ball into left center field. The left fielder and the center fielder looks like he's going to make the catch. He does. Tagging up from third base is Hartman, and he will score from third base. Looks like they are appealing the play at third base to see whether he took off earlier or not. There is a proper way of doing it. The runners at first and second stay put. So 1 run will be scored as Koval blew out to the center fielder and gets an RBI. It's going to bring up the third baseman, number 6, Adam Tice. That one missing low for ball 1. Pratt's pitch missing outside. It was fastball at 85 miles an hour for ball 2. So the count is 2 balls, no strikes now to Adam Tice as we have 1 down with runners at first and second. There goes the runners to second and third. In safely at third base is Tanner White, and in safely at second base is Colton Burtis as they had a double steal going. And that was a ball. So the count goes to 3 balls and no strikes. With 1 down, you might see something outside to load up the bases. That's exactly what Zach Pratt does. Throws it outside to where Tice cannot make contact. So now the bases will be loaded. And now we're going to have a timeout on the field as head coach Roger Ward comes in to talk to the infield. Most likely they'll play at the center of the infield will probably play at double play depth, and we'll see what the corners do. And I said it was 87 degrees. I didn't think that was correct. It is now 81 degrees and clear. The internet went out here in X Stadium, and that's why I had lost my computers, and they were working very hard to get the internet back on right before the ball game started. And unfortunately, it took just a while before they got it back on, but we are back connected. Now my phone is saying it is 81 degrees and clear. So they are playing at double play depth with the run bases full now and 1 down here in the top half of the third inning. And the score 1-0. There's a swing and a miss there by Tony Slaughter as he goes down to no balls and 2 strikes. He was trying to knock that into 21st Street, which is a street that runs east and west here, just north of the stadium. That one missing outside for ball 1. Almost swung out of his shoes, it looked like. So the count is 1 ball, 2 strikes now to Slaughter. That one also missing outside. And a great job there by Gibson to stay in front of that one to keep the runners at their bases. There's a fouled off by Slaughter. Slaughter comes into the ball game batting 2 for 4. As he's batting .500, has 1 RBI. He's been up to the plate 1 time already today, but walked. Here's the pitch. That one is check swing. Goes into the Sluggers dugout. As the count is 2 balls, 2 strikes. 1 down with the bases full. 1-0 in favor of the Wichita Sluggers. And that one a swing there by Slaughter. Good job of protecting the plate that time. He just stuck his bat out and half swung at that, but made contact. And here's Pratt's pitch. That one hit to the right-hand side and is going to be foul. So the count stays at 2 balls and 2 strikes. There's a pitch missing low for ball 3, so we're going to have a full count now at 3-2, and there's nowhere to put this base runner as the bases are loaded. And here's Zach Pratt's pitch. That is a check swing, and they checks with the first base umpire, and he says no, he didn't go. So another run will score as Tanner White comes in to score. Colton Bertas moves to third base. Adam Tice to second base. And now Tony Slaughter would be on at first base with a base on balls. It's going to bring up the first baseman, number 26, Zach Baxley. The score now 2-0 in favor of the Wichita Sluggers. And all of a sudden, Zach Pratt is having a hard time finding the strike zone as that one misses outside for ball 1. And here's Pratt's pitch. That one is fouled off by Zach Baxley. So the count is 1 ball, 1 strike. 2-0 in favor of the Wichita Sluggers here in the top half of the 3rd inning. They've scored 2 runs on 2 hits and 1 error. There's a ball hit to the right-hand side. Should be an infield fly rule. Second baseman gets under it, makes the catch for out number 2. Umpires automatically called infield fly rule. So there's 2 down now. That's going to bring up the second baseman, number 45, Jack Mackey. Mackey got hit by a pitch his first time up at the plate. And that one almost hit him also as he tries to get away from it. So the count is 1 ball, no strikes. That one called strike 1 on the inside corner, as Pratt has already thrown 75 pitches here in 3 innings, and he's still not done. That one gets away from the catcher as it bounces. Bounces right back. It bounced right in front of the catcher, and it must have hit his shin guards and bounced right back to the pitcher, and the pitcher came in charging, and he tosses it into the catcher as Bertas was coming in home and got him out for out number 3. But not before the Sluggers scored 2 runs, so at the end of 2.5, it is the Sluggers 2 and the Batcats 0.
Happy Tuesday. Hopefully you've been enjoying your day so far. At day 4 of the NBC World Series, I'm Storm Track 3 meteorologist TJ Springer. Temperature is going to be cooling down as we go throughout the rest of the night. Still falling into the middle 80s, expected around 10. We'll dip into the upper 70s. Just a few passing clouds around midnight. Maybe a spotty sprinkle around. Not a great chance as we head into our morning commute tomorrow. 73. a little more seasonable compared to what we have been feeling, but no problems whatsoever out at X Stadium. If you do have plans to head out tonight, have a great rest of your day and enjoy day 5 tomorrow at the NBC World Series as well.
And we welcome you back to X Stadium as the Great Bend Batcats face the Wichita, Kansas Sluggers. The score 2-0 in favor of the Sluggers as we go to the bottom half of the third inning. Leading off for Great Bend will be the second baseman, number 17, Tyson Cheatham. First pitch to him is called ball 1 as Matt Hunt starts his third inning of work. That missing low for ball 2. So 2-0 now the count to Tyson Cheatham. Matt Hunt has done a great job so far as he has faced the limit. There's the ball hit to the shortstop. Curtis goes over to Baxley for out number 1. So a 6-3 put out for the first out. It's going to bring up the catcher, number 34, Chase Gibson. Gibson's from O'Fallon, Missouri. 5'10", 205-pounder from William Woods University. First pitch is ball 1 to Gibson. Gibson is 1 for 6 here in the World Series. Call strike 1 on the outside corner. So the count goes to 1 ball and 1 strike. First time at the plate here this evening. And Hunt's misses low and outside. So the count goes to 2 balls and 1 strike. Once again, you're watching the 4th ball game here this day. There's a swing and a miss there by Gibson. So that will even up the count now at 2 balls and 2 strikes. And we've had some very decent ball games here today. As I've given you those scores. So Hutchinson defeated Dodge City 7-1 in the first game. In the second game, it was the Hayes Larks winning 2-0 over the Denver Cougars. And the 7 o'clock feature game, it was the Derby Kansas Twins winning 5-2 over the 3-1-6 Elite team. That one missing outside for ball 4. So Chase Gibson will be on base with a base on balls. And now that brings up the first baseman, number 15, Nolan Riley. Gibson is actually the 3rd base runner on the base. The Wichita Sluggers have had 2 double plays, one in the first inning and one in the second inning. On a 5-4, 5-4-3. And then in the second inning, it was 3-6, 3-6-1. Count is 2 balls, no strikes now to Nolan Riley. That one missing outside for ball 3. So all of a sudden, Matt Hunt can't find the strike zone, as he just got done walking Gibson, and now is falls behind 3-0 to Nolan Riley. There's a strike called on the outside corner. So the count goes to 3 balls, 1 strike now to Nolan Riley, first baseman for the Great Bend Batcats. That one also right across the knees. So the count will go full now at 3-2. And we'll see if Coach Ward has a play on with 1 down. Here in the bottom half of the 3rd inning. Not going, but there's a ball hit into center field right over the shortstop's head as he leaped up to try to get it, but was not able to get to it. So Nolan Riley records the first hit for the Great Bend Batcats. And Gibson will end up at second base as he reached on a walk. And now here comes the coach for the Wichita Sluggers. As there's some action now in the bullpen for the Wichita Sluggers. I'll try to get a number here. Looks like a left-handed pitcher's warming up. He just got up to start throwing, so I'm sure this was a give my pitcher a chance to warm up call to the mound. And I can't catch a number, so we'll keep an eye out here, see if we can find out who it is. It's going to bring up the shortstop, number 2, Cade Gonzalez. As he struck out the first time up at the plate. There's a ball hit to the right-hand side. That may fall in. It is going to fall in for a base hit. And Gonzalez is on with a base hit. And I was just getting ready to say Gonzalez had a great evening yesterday. I think he was 3 out of 5 or so. I'd have to take a look at the stats to see exactly. But I know he did have 3 hits, a single, a double, and a triple yesterday. And he gets his first hit of the ball game. It's going to bring up the right fielder, number 14, Ryan Monson. So the bases are loaded now with 1 down as Ryan Monson is now up there at the plate. First pitch is called strike 1. Monson comes in 1 for 7. 142 here in the World Series. And he's showing 0 for 1 here in this ball game. That missing low and inside, so the count will go now to 2 balls and 1 strike. The Great Bend trying to get back in the ball game as they are down 2-0 here in the bottom half of the 3rd inning. And here's Hunt's pitch. Ball hit to the right-hand side, foul. So that will even up the count now at 2 balls and 2 strikes. We hope you're enjoying the telecast. We appreciate Chris Worrell's work as he's our technician that puts these ball games on for you on YouTube and Facebook Live. That one is fouled off by Monson. Like I say, we appreciate his hard work as he's been doing this for the NBC World Series now for several years. I like it because all I get to do is come in and talk, and he's already got everything set up for us. So the count is 2 balls, 2 strikes. Bases full with 1 out. And that one missing outside, so that would take the count now to full at 3-2. Well, Hunt needs to come in with a strike because he's got nowhere to put Monson as the bases are full. That one hit into the gap at between first and second. One run will score, and here comes Riley from second base. The ball thrown to third base, and he was safe at third base as the ball gets away from the third baseman, Tice. So another run scores as Gonzalez will score, but the umpires are going to talk this over as Gonzalez and Tice both got tangled up at third base as Gonzalez slid into third base, and the ball got away from Tice. And they're not sending anybody back or not calling anybody out. So 3 runs have scored now here as Monson ends up at second base on that throw. I'm sure he'd get credited with a base hit, and there is an error on the throw. Brings up the center fielder, number 11, Dante Freeman. So now the score is 3-2 in favor of the Great Bend Batcats. They've scored 3 runs here in the bottom half of the third inning. Got his 2 balls and no strikes now to Freeman. That one called strike. So the count, 2 balls and 1 strike. That one's going to be hit to the right-hand side over the second baseman. Second baseman backing up. Mackey is going to be able to make the catch for out number 2. Good job there by Mackey as he hustled into short right field to make that play. For the second out of the inning, and they'll bring up the third baseman, number 3, Dawson Pomeroy. Roy reached on a base on balls in the second inning and then was hit into a 3-6-1 double play as Bloomer hit into that double play. So the score now is 3-2 in favor of Great Bend here in the bottom half of the third inning. 2 down with the runner at second base. That ball lifted into right field. Right fielder White backing up. Makes the catch for out number 3. So at the end of 3 innings to play, the score of the Great Bend Batcats 3 and the Wichita Sluggers 2. You're listening to NBC World Series live stream presented by Park City, Kansas. Visit Park City's website at parkcitykansas.com. We'll be right back.
No one should live a life burdened with type 1 diabetes. And the day is coming when nobody will, because we're here to cure it. And we're working to improve the lives of those affected by this relentless disease today by finding new therapies and advancing them to market, by advocating for greater access and better choices, by deepening our understanding of the disease. At JDRF, we're fighting T1D. We're making life better for those who live with it while creating a world without it.
And we welcome you back to the 85th National Baseball Congress World Series, powered by Westar Energy, as we go to the top half of the 4th inning. This is Frank Martinez, your play-by-play announcer for this game. Leading off for the Wichita Sluggers will be the second baseman, number 45, Jack Mackey. Mackey got hit by a pitch in the second inning and was left stranded at first base. That ball lifted into at the shortstop. Shortstop Burtis gets under it. Christian Gonzalez gets under it, makes the catch for out number 1. It's going to bring up the designated hitter number 0, Josh Jones. Pratt has thrown 77 pitches already here as we are in the top half of the fourth inning. First pitch to Jones is strike 1. That one lifted into left field. Left fielder Mitchell moves to his right, makes the catch for out number 2. Thought there for a chance. They had a chance to get down to the line, but Mitchell moved to his right awful quickly to get to that ball, as that was a line shot for the second out. It's going to bring up the left fielder, number 12, Mason Hartman. Hartman has been on base twice. He reached on a base on balls in the first inning and was left stranded at third base. Then he got on with a base hit as he started off the third inning and scored a run. Ball hit to the right-hand side. Riley scoops that up right at the line and goes unassisted for out number 3. So at the end of 3.5 innings, the score is the Great Bend 3 and the Wichita Sluggers 2. You're listening to the NBC World Series live stream presented by Park City, Kansas. Visit Park City's website at parkcitykansas.com. We'll be right back.
What do you see? I'll tell you what I don't see. I don't see a dropout. I don't see laid off. I don't see hopeless. I see our future, bright and prosperous. What do you see?
All right, we welcome you back here to X Stadium for the 85th National Baseball Congress World Series, powered by Westar Energy. As we go to the bottom half of the fourth inning, the score 3-2 in favor of Great Bend. And we got a new pitcher now for the Wichita Sluggers. And it looks like it's number 7, Braden Ash from Derby, Kansas. It's a 6'1", 190-pounder. He goes to Southwestern College. A right-handed thrower. As ball hit to the left-hand side, third baseman Tice gets it, goes to first for out number 1. So a 5-3 put out. Nice job there by Adam Tice as he had to go clear to the line in fair territory as he picked that up and went across to Baxley for the first out. It's going to bring up the designated hitter number 10, Chandler Bloomer. Bloomer's second time at the plate as he first time he hit into a 3-6-1 double play. So one down here in the bottom half of the fourth inning. And the the score 3-2 in favor of Great Bend. If you're just now joining us, we were scoreless for the first 2 innings, and the Wichita Sluggers scored 2 runs in the top half of the 3rd inning, and Great Bend came back and scored 3 runs in the bottom half of the 3rd inning to take a 3-2 lead. So the line so far reads for the Wichita Sluggers 2 runs on 2 hits and 2 errors. That ball is fouled off by Bloomer. And for Great Bend, shows 3 runs on 3 hits and 1 error. Count is 1 ball, 2 strikes now to Bloomer. That one fouled off by Bloomer along the left-hand side. And Braden Ash now on relief. That one fouled off. And I'll give you the numbers for Matt Hunt as he went 3 innings, gave up 3 hits, 3 runs, 2 earned runs, 2 base on balls, and 1 strikeout as he faced 13 batters. The ball lifted into a short center field. Center fielder goes clear back behind second base and makes the catch for out number 2. A great job there by Colton Burtis as he made that catch out in short center field. That's going to bring up the second baseman, number 17, Tyson Cheatham. We have 2 down now in the bottom half of the 4th. Cheatham started off the 3rd inning as he grounded out to the shortstop as he made the first out. That one hit line drive, foul. Tice moved to his right to try to make the catch, and umpire moved out of the way at third base. And as he turned around, he saw the ball hit in the foul territory. So the count is no balls, 2 strikes. The ball hit into right center field. That's going to fall in for a base hit as Tanner White, made an attempt to dive for that and make the catch, but was not able to get to it. So Tyson Cheatham is in with a base hit into right center field. That will bring up the catcher, number 34, Chase Gibson. So runner at first base now with 2 down as we are in the bottom half of the 4th inning. Once again, the winner of this game will move on tomorrow and play at 9:30 against the Hutchinson, Kansas Monarchs. And the loser will be out of the 85th National Baseball Congress World Series, powered by West Star Energy. No balls and 1 strike. Ball hit right back to it's going to be right past the pitcher, goes to the second baseman, Mackey, who goes over to Baxley for out number 3. So a 4-3 put out. So at the end of 4 innings of play, it is the Batcats 3 and the Sluggers 2. And you're listening to the NBC World Series live stream presented by Park City, Kansas. Visit Park City's website at parkcitykansas.com. We'll be right back. And we welcome you back to X Stadium for the 85th National Baseball Congress World Series, powered by West Star Energy. As we go to the top half of the fifth inning, the score 3-2 in favor of Great Bend over the Wichita Sluggers. Leading off the top half of the fifth inning for the Sluggers will be the right fielder, number 53, Tanner White. And there goes the alarm. That means that too much time was taken. It was called strike one against the batter. They're swinging strike two now to Tanner White, as he was not in the box within the 5 seconds before the horn sounded. So he got a penalty. There's a ball hit to the shortstop. Gonzalez moves to his right, goes across to O'Reilly for out number one. So a 6-3 put out for the first out, and that will bring up the shortstop, number 28, Colton Bertas. Bertas reached on an error to the first baseman in the third inning. There's a bunt laid down, and Zach Pratt not able to get to that. We'll see how they score that. I believe it's going to be a base hit, though. It is a base hit by Bertas as he laid down a perfect bunt. So he records his first hit of the game. He'll bring up the center fielder, number 50, Ryan Koval. First pitch is called strike one. So Koval's up there with a runner at first base. And one down here in the top half of the fifth inning. That one missing low for ball one. That will even up the count now at 1 ball and 1 strike. Zach Pratt missing high for ball 2. Count goes to 2 balls and 1 strike. Now to Ryan Koval. We have Tice on deck and Slaughter in the hole. There goes the runner, Bertas, to second base. The throw down, not going to be in time as that gets by the second baseman, but a good backup job there by Cade Gonzalez at shortstop. So a stolen base now by Colton Bertas. And the count is full now to Ryan Koval. Ball popped up in the infield, second baseman charging towards the pitcher's mound and makes the catch right behind the pitcher's mound for out number 2. That will bring up the third baseman, number 6, Adam Tice. Tice flew out to the second baseman in the second inning and reached on a base on balls in the third and was left stranded at second base. So his third time up at the plate. That one also lifted up in the infield. Gonzalez calls for it, makes the catch for out number 3. You're listening to the NBC World Series live stream presented by Park City, Kansas. Visit Park City's website at parkcitykansas.com. And we'll be right back.
Learn from Lucy, come to you. I heard the laughing. Learn from Lucy, come to you. I'm someone like you. Na 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 na. I'm going to Wichita. I'm going to Wichita. I'm going to Wichita. And I'm going to Wichita.
Learn more at visitwichita.com.
back here at Wichita State University. X Stadium at Tyler Field, and Nolan Riley's up to bat. First pitch going to be in there for a strike. 0-1. 0-1 is now the count on Riley. Riley is 1 for 1 with the base hit. Pitch. Swung on, fouled back. 0-2.
All right, the count is 1 ball, 1 strike now to Nolan Riley. As the ball is hit to the shortstop, Burtis moves to his left, goes across to Baxley for out number 1. So a 6-3 put out for the first out as we are in the bottom half of the 5th inning. That's going to bring up the shortstop number 2, Cade Gonzalez. I'd like to thank Andrew for filling in for a player there. First pitch is called strike 1 against Gonzalez as Braden Ash is in relief of Matt Hunt. That one fouled off, so the count goes to no balls and 2 strikes. Three to 2 is the score in favor of Great Bend. That one fouled off to the right-hand side. Another souvenir for somebody. So the count stays at no balls and 2 strikes. That swing and a miss there by Gonzalez as he goes down swinging for out number 2. It's going to bring up the right fielder, number 14, Ryan Monson. Monson is 1 for 2 here tonight. As he is 1 for 7 in the World Series, batting 142. So 2 down here in the bottom half of the 5th now. And there's a pitch. That one hits the catcher's glove and bounces right out. That reminded me of a little kid when he's playing catch with his dad and the ball bounces out. The first thing you do is you slap the glove, and that's exactly what he did, saying, I should have caught that one. That one is called strike, so the count is 2 balls, 1 strike now to Ryan Monson. The swing and a miss there by Monson, so that will even up the count now at 2 balls and 2 strikes. So we got 2 balls, 2 strikes, and 2 outs here in the bottom half of the 5th inning. A check swing, call strike 3. So Ash strikes out 2 out of the 3 for the 3rd out. At the end of 5 innings of play, it is Great Bend Batcats 3 and the Wichita Sluggers 2. You're listening to the NBC World Series live stream presented by Park City, Kansas. Visit Park City's website at parkcitykansas.com. We'll be right back. And we welcome you back. We are going to the top half of the 6th inning. This is Frank Martinez, your play-by-play announcer. Leading off for the Wichita Sluggers will be the catcher, number 51, Tony Slaughter. The score 3-2 in favor of the Great Bend Batcats over the Wichita Sluggers. We hope you're enjoying the telecast, and we welcome you if you're just now joining us. That ball hit to the right-hand side. Mackey not going to be able to, correction, I said Mackey. That's not correct. That was Cheatham, not able to get to it. I'm sure that's going to be an error. So Slaughter will be on at first. Play was 4-3 on the putout. And brings up the first baseman, number 26, Zach Baxley. Baxley lives that into center left field. Mitchell makes the catch for out number 2. It's going to bring up the second baseman, number 45, Jack Mackey. First pitch is ball 1 to Mackey. That is fouled off by Mackey. So the count will go to 1 ball and 1 strike. That one in the corner for strike number 2. 1 ball, 2 strikes now to Jack Mackey as we have 2 down here in the top half of the 6th inning. That one almost hits Mackey, because he did get hit in the 2nd inning. And as I recall, he almost got hit in the 4th inning. 2-2 the count. Ball hit to the right-hand side. First baseman Riley moves to his right, and covering is Pratt for out number 3. So at the end of 5.5 innings of play, the score, the Batcats 3 and the Sluggers 2. And you're listening to the NBC World Series live stream presented by Park City, Kansas. Visit Park City's website at parkcitykansas.com. We'll be right back. And we welcome you back as we go to the bottom half of the 6th inning. The score, the Great Bend Batcats 3 and the Wichita Sluggers 2. Leading off the bottom half of the 6th inning for Great Bend will be the center fielder, number 11, Dante Freeman. And Braden Ash in his 3rd inning of work. First pitch is ball 1 to Freeman. Swing and a miss there by Freeman. Almost looked like he was posing after a ball hit with a golf club. The ball hit up the middle. Shortstop Burtis gets behind second base, goes to first. A great play there by Colton Burtis to make the 6-3 put out for the first out here in the bottom half of the 6th inning. It's going to bring up the third baseman, number 3, Dawson Pomeroy. Pomeroy reached on a base on balls in the second inning and flew out to the right fielder to make the third out in the third inning. First pitch was a ball. That one hit in the corner for strike one. So that will even up the count now at 1 ball and 1 strike. That one missing for ball 2. 78-mile-an-hour pitch there by Ash. That one is fouled off back to the net. So that will even up the count now at 2 balls and 2 strikes. So we just started bracket play today. We'll be down to 4 teams after we get a winner in this game. That check swing and call strike 3 for out number 2 as Pomeroy goes down looking for the second out. It's going to bring up the left fielder, number 6, Brady Mitchell. So we have nobody on with 2 down here in the bottom half of the 6th. That ball hit right over second base. And once again, Burtis hustles over and makes the play for out number 3. So a 6-3 put out at the end of 6. It is Great Bend 3 and the Sluggers 2. And you're listening to NBC World Series live stream presented by Park City, Kansas. Visit Park City's website at parkcitykansas.com. We'll be right back.
Neck pain, back pain, all kinds of sprains. If your knee replacement aches when it starts to rain, at Advanced Physical Therapy, we treat that. At Advanced Physical Therapy, we treat that. Concussions, arthritis, carpal tunnel, tooth, fibromyalgia, Parkinson's, we've got the treatment for you. At Advanced Physical Therapy, we treat that. At Advanced Physical Therapy, we treat that. One-on-one sessions with a personal touch. Ask our thousands of patients why they love us so much. At Advanced Physical Therapy, we treat that. At Advanced Physical Therapy, we treat that.
And we welcome you back as we go to the top half of the 7th inning. The score, the Great Bend Batcats 3 and the Wichita Sluggers 2. Leading off top half of the 7th inning for the Wichita Sluggers will be the designated hitter number 0, Josh Jones. Jones struck out his first time at the plate and flew out to left field in the 4th inning. First pitch is called strike 1. And a ball hit to the right-hand side. It's going to be in foul territory. That time, Zach Pratt threw the ball so hard that his hat fell off. It's been a couple times where I thought it was going to come off, and that time it did. So the count is no balls and 2 strikes to Josh Jones. That one lifted to the left-hand side, but I believe it's going to be out of play in the construction area. And I say construction area because the third base dugout has been tore down. And they have some tents put up as a third base dugout with some orange barriers around it, as they are building a brand new third base dugout that connects to a tunnel that will be the clubhouse and the locker rooms, and that will lead to their practice facility. Count is 1 ball, 2 strikes. Ball hit hard to the past the third baseman. The third baseman Pomeroy jumped up but was not able to get to it. And going around to second base is Josh Jones. A double for Josh Jones to start off the top half of the 7th inning. Now they're going to have a pinch runner at second base. And he ran out there so fast that I didn't get a number. Let me see if I can. Won't be able to get it until he turns around here. Well, unfortunately, like I say, I just didn't catch the number, but we'll try to get that. It's going to bring up the left fielder, number 12, Mason Hartman, as the Sluggers have started off with a double here in the top half of the 7th inning. Okay, I got a number that looks like it's number 22 for the Wichita Sluggers. And that is Easton Elliott. And matter of fact, I almost said this. I think that's an Elliott boy. Ball hit to the first baseman, and not covering is the pitcher as Riley tossed the ball over to Pratt, but Pratt was nowhere near first base as he was heading that way. And hustling down to first base was Hartman, so he's in with a base hit. And moving over to third base is Elliott. And here comes coach for the Great Bend, Roger Ward. And that may be it for Zach Pratt. So that is going to be it for Pratt. We'll give you his final numbers coming in. I believe it's number 23. We'll check and see. But there's going to be runners at first and third. And we're waiting for the players to break up there around the pitcher's mound so I can catch a number. It's going to be number 23 coming in to pitch for Great Bend. 23 is Zach Curry, a right-handed thrower from Ottawa, Kansas. It's a 6 foot, 175 pounder from Barton Community College. So he will be coming in to throw. And I'll give you the final numbers here for Zach Pratt. He went a total of 6 innings, gave up 5 hits, 2 runs, 1 earned run, 4 base on balls, and 4 strikeouts as he faced 28 batters. But the runners at third and first are Mr. Pratt's. If they happen to score. Once again, now pitching is number 23, Zach Curry. So he will come in with runners at first and third and no outs, I should say. With the score 3-2 in favor of Great Bend. The first batter he'll be facing will be the right fielder, number 53, Tanner White, as we're ready to go. Easton Elliott is at third base. Mason Hartman. There goes Hartman to second base. There's a throw down to second base. Looks like they're going to get him. A nice throw there by the catcher Gibson, with Gonzalez covering second base for out number one. So a 2-6 put out. And here's the pitch by Curry. Count will go now to 2 balls and 1 strike to Tanner White. The ball hit to the second baseman, Cheatham, and a run will be scored as Elliott comes in from third base. That will tie up the ball game. So Tanner White did exactly what he needed to do, and that's hit the ball to the right-hand side. So a 4-3 put out. Going to bring up the shortstop, number 28, Colton Bertas. Ball 1, or correction, ball 2 now to Bertas, shortstop for the Wichita Sluggers. Score tied up now at 3 apiece, as the count now goes to 3-0. That ball got away from the catcher, went back to the net area. Called strike 1 against Bertas. That will take the count to 3-1. 2 down here in the top half of the 7th inning as the Sluggers had come back to tie it up. And Bertas reaches on a walk. And we'll bring up the center fielder, number 50, Ryan Koval. Koval had it grounded out to the first baseman in the first inning as he made the third out. And that is the third out there by Koval, but not before the Sluggers score 1 run to tie the ball game up. So at the end of 6.5, the score is 3 apiece. And you're listening to the NBC World Series live stream presented by Park City, Kansas. Visit Park City's website at parkcitykansas.com. We'll be right back.
The Kansas Humane Society is a community resource for pets and people dedicated to enhancing the welfare of all companion animals. We offer an array of services that promote the human and animal bond, including pet adoption, dog training, behavior consultation, pet supplies, outreach, spay and neuter, end-of-life services, field trips, and community outreach.
And we welcome you back to the 85th National Baseball Congress World Series, powered by Westar Energy, as we go to the bottom half of the 7th inning. The score tied up at 3 apiece between the Great Bend Batcats and the Wichita Sluggers. Leading off will be number 10, Chandler Bloomer, and he hits that deep into left field over the left fielder's head. It goes against the wall, and standing at second base will be Chandler Bloomer with a double. 1 pitch. And now I believe we're going to have, nope, we're not going to have a pinch runner. I thought we were. So Bloomer will be on at second base. And like I say, just 1 pitch as he lifts that over the left fielder's head. for the double. It's going to bring up the second baseman, number 17, Tyson Cheatham. Call strike one on the outside corner. So the count is no balls and one strike. And here's the pitch. And that, I believe that hit the batter. He squared around to bunt. And looks like, I'm not sure if he warned the pitcher. The catcher is kind of jumping around like, how could you warn him? But that pitch was just inside, and as the Cheatham turned around to square around a bunt, that hit him almost in the chest area. But he is awarded first base on a hit batsman. And now at second base still is Bloomer. Not sure whether the pitcher was warned or not, but like I say, the catcher reacted like it. There's a squaring around a bunt is Chase Gibson. A nice bunt there by Gibson as he sacrificed the runners over to second and third. So Bloomer will be on at third base. Cheatham will be on at second. And it is a 5. Excuse me. Put out at first base for out number 1. Going to bring up the first baseman, number 15, Nolan Riley. That missing inside for ball 1. The infield is in as there's one out. And runners at second and third. As the go-ahead run now is 90 feet away. And a bunt laid down to the right-hand side goes foul. So the count is 1 ball, 1 strike now to Nolan Riley with runners at second and third and one down. Infield in. There's a swing and a miss, a hard hit ball to the third baseman. Nice job there by the third baseman, Tice, as he gets up and looks the runner back and goes over to Baxley at first base for out number 2. A great defensive play there by Adam Tice for the put out. So now the defense will back up, and that's going to bring up the shortstop, number 2, Cade Gonzalez. As I mentioned yesterday, he had the hot hand, or the hot bat, I should say, as he had a single, double, and a triple. And I mentioned after he hit that single, because he started off the ball game with a triple, then he hit a double after that, then he hit a single. I said his teammate he used to play for the Newton Rebels. His teammate Enzo the Boom Bonventry hit for the cycle this year as he recorded a triple, a double, a single, and a home run to hit that cycle. And I knew that Gonzalez's chances were very slim, as that was in the 8th inning when he hit that single. That call strike 2 now to Gonzalez, as the count now goes to 1 ball and 2 strikes. Runners at second and third now with 2 down. And Braden Ash trying to get out of this inning. There's a ball lifted into center field, but the center fielder there backing up is Koval, making the catch for out number 3. So at the end of 7 innings of play, the score tied up at 3 apiece. And you're listening to the NBC World Series live stream presented by Park City, Kansas. Visit Park City's website at parkcitykansas.com. We'll be right back.
Man, this is serious business. You got to have an appetite for this kind of thing. You gotta have a hunger to succeed.
Side effects may include hilarity, laughter, smiles, childlike behavior, lots of good feelings, and making of a lifelong friend.
Mentoring. It's easier than you think and serious fun. Change the game.
And we welcome you back as we go to the top half of the 8th inning. The score tied up at 3 apiece. Leading off in the top half of the 8th inning for the Wichita Sluggers will be the third baseman, number 6, Adam Tice. And Zach Curry in relief for Great Bend. As he starts his second inning of work. That one missing high for ball 1. Well, the Great Bend Batcats had a great chance as Bloomer started off with a double, then had a hit batsman, then had a 5-4 play that moved the runners over. That ball lifted into left field. That's going to be close, but it's going to be foul ball by Tice. So that will take the count to 2 balls and 1 strike. Anyway, runners were left stranded at second and third as they started off with 2 men on and no outs. That 5-4 was a bunt laid down to move the runners over. That one hit along the third base side or the dugout of Great Bend. Count is full now at 3-2. And Tice goes down for out number 1. Going to bring up, as he's called strike 3, looking. Going to bring up the catcher, number 51, Tony Slaughter. He's reached base twice now on 2 walks. He grounded out to the second baseman in the 6th inning. A swing and a miss there by Slaughter. So the count goes no balls and 1 strike. That one missing inside, so that will even up the count now at 1-1. Swing and a miss there by Slaughter. Went out to take the count to 1 ball and 2 strikes. That one fouled off to the right-hand side. The results of pool play, Hutchinson Monarchs were the first team in Pool A. 316 was the second team that qualified from Pool A. There's a ball hit right back to the pitcher, Curry. Goes over to Riley for out number 2. So a 1-3 put out for the second out. It's going to bring up the first baseman, number 26, Zach Baxley. In Pool B, the Wichita Sluggers were in first place. They were 2-0. And the second team out of the Pool B was the Denver Cougars as they defeated Wellington last night. There's a base hit into right center field by Baxley. He will stop at first base as he rounded first base. And we're going to have a pinch hitter now, number 27, coming in for Wichita Sluggers. And that is Daniel Davila coming in to pinch hit. That one fouled off. So Baxley hits back to first base. So Davila now pinch hitting for Jack Mackey. Runner at first base with 2 down. That missing high for ball 1, so the count will even up now at 1 ball and 1 strike. As we are in the top half of the 8th inning with the score tied up at 3 apiece. Missing outside for ball 2. Two and 1 now the count. Ball hit into the left side. It may be foul. Is that not foul by very much? That's the left fielder, Mitchell. My bad. Went over towards the foul line and was not able to get to it, but it was in foul territory. Brady Mitchell out there in left field. Count is 2 balls, 2 strikes now to Davila. And ball hit to the shortstop. And that ball comes out of the glove of Riley as Gonzalez had to hustle hard and make that throw. So there's going to be an error on the play. And we'll see. I believe it's going to be error on the first baseman, but oh, they called it a base hit. My bad. It was a difficult play there for Gonzalez. The throw was on the mark, and I thought he was going to get him in time, but the ball came out of the glove. So Davila will be on at first base with a base hit. And moving over to third base was Zach Baxley on the play. And it looks like we have a pinch hitter. I believe it's 49 for the Wichita Sluggers. Up there swinging twice now. Yes, it is number 49. Is Trace Maddox from Wichita, Kansas, 6'1", 190-pounder from Arkansas Tech University. There goes Davila to second base, but a strikeout to Maddox. So at the end of 7.5, the score tied up at 3 apiece. You're listening to the NBC World Series live stream presented by Park City, Kansas. Visit Park City's website at parkcitykansas.com, and we'll be right back.
I'm Terry Bradshaw. Like many of you, I took the ALS Ice Bucket Challenge back in 2014. My man Pat Quinn here, well, he's one of the founders.
Thanks to all of you who took the challenge.
ALS is a nasty disease with no cure. It robs a person of their ability to walk, talk, and breathe. Since the Ice Bucket Challenge, we've discovered new ALS genes and potential treatments. If we can cure ALS, we can cure anything. Please join me and Pat in the fight against ALS.
Well, we welcome you back as we go to the bottom half of the 8th inning. The score tied up at 3 apiece between the Great Bend Batcats and the Wichita Sluggers. Leading off in the bottom half of the 8th inning for the Batcats will be the right fielder, number 14, Ryan Monson. Once again, this is Frank Martinez, your play-by-play announcer for tonight's game. We hope you're enjoying the action and the telecast. That one is fouled off by Monson. So the count goes to no balls and 1 strike. That missing low for ball 1. That will even up the count now at 1 ball and 1 strike. Missing high and outside for ball 2. As we are in the bottom half of the 8th inning. That one fouled off to the left side. Out in the construction area, looks like. Two and 2 the count. That's fouled off again by Monson. So he's hanging tough. It's Braden Ash. This is his 4th inning of work. Two balls, 2 strikes now to Monson. Ash's pitch in there for strike 3 as Monson looks at 3rd strike right across the knees. So he goes down looking. It's going to bring up the center fielder, number 11, Dante Freeman. First pitch called strike 1 on the outside corner. No balls and 1 strike now to Freeman. Swing and a miss there by Freeman. So 0-2 now the count. That one hit along the third base side, foul. No balls, 2 strikes to Dante Freeman, the center fielder for the Great Bend Batcats. That one hit to the right-hand side, and they had a shift on, and that Freeman did a great job of hitting to where nobody was at. The second baseman was playing, Hartman was playing right behind second base. Burtis was moved over just a little bit towards the third base side, and Freeman found an open hole at second base and just put it there for the base hit. Going to bring up the third baseman, number 3, Dawson Pomeroy. First pitch missing outside for ball 1. As we are in the bottom half of the 8th inning, with the score tied up at 3 apiece. That one hit into left field, deep into left field. Navia goes back and it goes off the wall, but having to hold up was Freeman. He is going to be in safely at third base. So Pomeroy was almost right on Freeman's heels as he was heading towards second base. As Davia went back but was not able to get to it and he went off the wall. So now there's runners at second and third. With one out. And I'll bring up the left fielder, number 6, Brady Mitchell. And here comes Coach for the Wichita Sluggers. I believe that's going to be it for Brendan Ash. Looks like we're going to have a left-handed thrower coming in. And it will be for the Wichita Sluggers. It'll be number 14, Josh Short. Let's have the thrower from Wichita, Kansas, a 6'3", 190-pounder from Mays High School. Will be coming in to pitch now for the Wichita Sluggers. So I'll give you the final numbers on Ash. John Short now pitching. And the final numbers on Braden Ash. He went 4 1/3 innings. They gave up 3 hits, no runs, no earned runs, no base on balls, and had a total of 4 strikeouts as he faced 18 batters here in the ball game. So the runners at second and third will be charged to Ash if they happen to score. But coming in to try to put out the fire is John Short here in the bottom half of the 8th inning. As it is now 11:43 Central Time here in Wichita, Kansas. Got a show to do tomorrow morning as I'm co-hosting the game plan on 93.9 KGSO with Anthony Gorgeous. Got a chance to do that this morning. It's Scott Stiles and excuse me here. They thought the infield was in for a second, and they're back in double play death. Doug Downs is and Scott Stiles are the host, but they're both out of town. So they've asked me to come in and fill in. So I did it this morning, and we had a great time talking sports from 6 in the morning till 9 a.m. That one gets away from the catcher, and coming down the line was Freeman, and he has to hustle back. The batter is the designated hitter, number 10, Chandler Bloomer. With one out here, swing and a miss there by Bloomer. And the count goes to 1 ball and 2 strikes. Mitchell did reach on intentional walk that I forgot to mention as I was giving you some stats on Ash. So that's what loaded up the bases. Count is 2 balls, 2 strikes now to Chandler Bloomer with the bases full and 1 out. John Short here now in relief for the Wichita Sluggers. Now the timeout there by home plate umpire. And we'll reset here. And now catcher will go out to talk to Short. That's Slaughter. So they get on the correct page there. It looked like Slaughter might have been fooled on that first pitch as it went into the ground, and I don't think he was expecting that. It was able to keep the ball within distance to where Freeman had to go back to third base. So the count is 2 balls, 2 strikes. Runners at first, second, and third with 1 out here in the bottom half of the 8th inning. The score tied up at 3 apiece. And here's Short's pitch. That's fouled off by Bloomer. So he got caught in the handle area that time. So the count will stay at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Here's Short's pitch, missing for ball 3, and we go full now to Chandler Bloomer. So something's got to give here. As we go to a full count. Ball hit into center field. That may fall in, but no, the center fielder, great job by Koval. Here comes the throw into home, and it gets cut off by the pitcher. Short, and Slaughter jumps up and down at home plate. The catcher, as he thought they might have had a chance to get him, but tagging up from third base was Dante Freeman, and he scores. Now takes the score to 4-3. Once again, that ball hit into short center field, and Koval fired into home as Freeman tagged up, and John Short made the cutoff, and I think Slaughter didn't expect that because he jumped straight up in the air with both feet like he couldn't believe that that ball was cut off. We are going to have a new pitcher now for the Wichita Sluggers. And it looks like it's going to be number 40 now coming in place of John Short. It's going to be Chance Crowley, a right-hander thrower from Williamsburg. He's a 6-foot, 190-pounder from Coffeyville Community College. So he will be coming in relief now of John Short. So the score now 4-3 in favor of the Great Bend Batcats. As Dante Freeman tagged up, came in on that play from center field as the ball was cut off by the pitcher. So we do have a pitching change here as we are in the bottom half of the 8th inning. And now batting should be the second baseman, number 17, Tyson Cheatham. That ball hit to shortstop. Shortstop goes to first, but not going to be in time. A great play there by the shortstop, Burtis, as he moved almost behind third base when he snagged that ball. And that should be a base hit there for Cheatham. Pomeroy will move to third base, and Mitchell moves to second base. So now the bases will be full with 2 down here in the bottom half of the 8th inning. That brings up the catcher, number 34, Chase Gibson. There's a ball hit into right center field, and coming in hard is the center fielder, Koval. They say that he did not make the catch, and now here comes the throw into home. He's going to be out at home, but it does look like 2 runs have scored. And out at home was number 17, Cheatham, for the third out. But 2 runs score, a total of 3 runs score here. Well, the scoreboard doesn't have it yet, but we're going to see what the official score shows. I'm showing 3 runs scored, as Cheatham was the one that got thrown out at home plate. We're going to stay right here. Yes, that is correct. 3 runs were scored on that. The score is now 6-3 in favor of Great Bend, and we'll be right back. And we welcome you back to the 85th National Baseball Congress Bowl Series, powered by Westar Energy, as we go to the 6, that's what I thought. Okay. As we go to the top half of the 9th inning, the score is 6-3 now in favor of Great Bend. The official score or point streak was showing three runs scored, but the scoreboard out here is only showing 2. But I was positive that they had scored the 3 runs there. All right, now batting is the left fielder, number 12, Mason Hartman. We have to understand that our scoreboard operators are volunteers, and sometimes you don't get the numbers up correctly as quickly as we'd like. Count goes to 1 ball, 2 strike now to Hartman, as we are in the top half of the 9th inning. The winner moves on. The loser will be done for the 85th National Baseball Congress World Series. That ball hit to the shortstop, but the third baseman comes in and grabs that. That's Pomeroy, but does not make a throw. So Mason Hartman will be on with a base hit to start off the top half of the 9th inning. Going to bring up number 53, Tanner White. We have a runner at first base with no outs. The ball hit fouled along the left-hand side. So the count goes no balls, 1 strike. As I was saying, the winner moves on, and they will be playing tomorrow night at 9:30 versus Hutchinson Monarchs. And the loser will be done for the NBC World Series. That one missing high for ball 1. So the count should go to 1 ball and 1 strike. That one called strike by home plate umpire. So the count is 1 ball and 2 strikes. And I see what happened there now on the scoreboard. We had the scoreboard operator apparently had to leave because due to the fact that he had to work. So we have the young man that's ball hit to the second baseman forced out there. A catch by the second baseman for out number 1. He does throw to first base, but not in time for the double play. So we have an F1, or correction, F4. It brings up the shortstop, number 28, Colton Bertas. And so the pitch clock operator is having to do now both jobs of the scoreboard and the pitch clock. So we're not going to give him much beef. That hit Bertus. So he will go to first base. That brings up the center fielder, number 50, Ryan Kovo. So now we have runners at first and second with 1 out. That one popped up into the infield. And second baseman makes the catch. Cheatham for out number 2. So an F4 for the second out. That will bring up the third baseman, number 6, Adam Tice. Six to 3 now in favor of Great Bend. They scored 3 runs in the bottom half of the 8th inning. That one in for strike 1 to Tice. No balls and 1 strike with runner at first and second now, and 2 down. Swing and a miss there by Tice. So the count goes to no balls and 2 strikes. So Great Bend is 1 strike away now from moving on. And there's fouled off to the ball hit to the first baseman. Goes unassisted for out number 3. And that is the ball game with the final score. The Great Bend Batcats 6 and the Wichita, Kansas Sluggers 3. So congratulations goes to Great Bend as they now move on to tomorrow's action. They will be facing the Hutchinson, Kansas Monarchs at 9:30. And our first game tomorrow will be the Derby, Kansas Twins versus the Hayes, Kansas Larks. So we hope to see you tomorrow as we have both games for you here on the live stream. Once again, this is Frank Martinez, your play-by-play announcer, wishing you a good evening, and we'll see you tomorrow at 7 and at 9:30. You've been listening to the NBC World Series live stream presented by Park City, Kansas. Visit Park City's website at parkcitykansas.com. Good night.